And we are live. I forgot to give credit to Ty Knox, who did this beat. You know what I'm saying?
It's your boy Ty Knox.
Yeah, he did our last podcast intro too, but I just want to make sure I shouted him out. But what's going on, man? How you doing, man?
I'm doing very well, Adam. How are you?
I'm doing all right here for episode 6 of Moon Talk streamcast. And I thought we would bring it back to the essence on this episode. Just kind of review a bunch of different topics, a bunch of different terms that we've kind of ran through over the last 5 episodes, just to make sure everybody understands, it's cohesive, because I feel like you and I, like, we get on a passion train and it's just like we might be just shooting out shit and we haven't naturally explained it fully.
There's no straight path in this world. Like we can start as basic as possible and start to try to explain something. You get off on a little tangent and you start throwing around words, acronyms that don't make sense. So we were talking, we just want to bring it back a little bit, just revisit some basics, just to maybe the time we explain it on this episode is the time that'll hit this one listener and make sense.
Absolutely. Even the name of the streamcast, Moon Talk, reason why we decided to pick that is at the Mount Everest, at the peak of success, the term is you've gone to the moon. This project's going to the moon. The value of this currency is going to the moon. So we hope these conversations are valuable as well, as we all want to be successful. And so that's kind of how we came up with the name, trying to bring crypto to mainstream streamcast podcast, however you consume information.
Yeah. I want people to realize it's not just, funny, stupid pictures.
Yeah.
Which there are a lot of, but as this technology evolves, there'll be a use case for people in their own business, in their home. There will be things that this type of technology is used for that we just don't know or don't realize yet.
Yeah.
So,
and to your point about the funny, stupid pictures, and we've thrown this term out the last couple episodes, but utility. And again, it's just how a project is instilling value into that project. So if you buy a silly, stupid looking picture, you might get access to an exclusive event. You might get tangible items sent to your place, whatever that might be. That is utility built into a project.
Your membership pass.
Yeah.
Your club pass.
Yeah.
You're a part of this exclusive thing. Like it's a picture, but it represents something else.
Right. So every goofy looking duck or dog or whatever, just imagine there's a story behind that, or there's a reason why somebody got into it, or there might just not be a reason at all. It's just a dope artist and they just want to speak through their art. There might not be any utility attached to it. It's kind of just how you collect NFTs or how even you collect cryptocurrency, because some of cryptocurrencies are more mainstream than others. There's a lot that are being created every day that people are instilling value into, but it's a case-by-case scenario, which is why you need a DYOR, do your own research.
DYOR, do your own research.
Yeah. Don't take anything Matt and I say on here as face value of you definitely need to go invest into XYZ project. We'll definitely talk about the projects that we're invested to, the coins that we're invested to, but that does not mean that because we said it, you have to do it or you should do it.
In fact, you probably shouldn't. No, just not investment advice. Everyone make your own decisions. But do you know what I think is maybe the hardest question in crypto right now in this world?
What's that? What
is an NFT?
Yeah.
Like, there's not really there probably are definitions, but like you'll get a different answer from everybody.
Right.
Like
there's the Webster definition, but it's like, what exactly does that mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's break it down.
Yeah.
Into non-fungible token.
Yeah.
Which is what NFT stands for. Non-fungible. Do you know what fungible means?
Let's do it.
Or can you explain
No.
it? I got it. So fungible, if something's non-fungible, it can be easily replaced for another thing. So a $10 bill can easily be replaced by another $10 bill, or 2 $5 bills, or 10 $1 bills. They're two different types of bills, but when you use them to buy something, they have the same value.
Yep.
Does that make sense to you?
It makes perfect sense.
So non-fungible is the opposite. It's a unique copy of something that can't be replaced by another. Like
it's a one of one.
Yeah, like the Mona Lisa or the Last Supper. like that, although there can be copies created of it, there can never be that original one of one, that original drawing of the Mona Lisa.
Right.
So that makes it non-fungible. So I think the other last important thing to note here is that non-fungible tokens are, they say, immutable, so they can't be edited. So once they're created, it is what it is.
Yep.
It's got their value. Everything is there and stored on the blockchain.
No, I think that was a beautiful breakdown. And I said no just so everybody else, because I'm not doing a podcast on things that I don't know about. Well, I mean, I guess I am, because who knows fully what NFTs do and whatnot. But I just want everybody to understand what non-fungible versus fungible and how you can bring that into reality. So,
yeah, like people can create. I'm trying to find the perfect comparison because I'm thinking. You remember at the old CD stores, not Borders, but the FYE.
Oh, FYE, yeah. Shit.
What was what were some of the OG? Like, what was the big one?
Oh, I know exactly. I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it. I can't remember the name of it, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Those they have a bunch of posters, just like prints of things that you can parse through, you buy and you put on your wall. Like people have made, you can make a poster of the Mona Lisa or your favorite, but that's not the original one. That's not the one of one.
Correct. Correct.
That's in the Louvre in Paris, in France, right? Isn't that where the Mona Lisa is?
Yep.
Yeah. So it's cool with the blockchain and with the validation and verification that can occur now digitally. We can now track the origin, the where that one of one started.
Yep.
The Mona Lisa is a one of one because, however it happened, someone was there to validate that. This is the actual Mona Lisa. This is the actual Mona Lisa, but to really prove that now, if you were to get your hands on the Mona Lisa or what you think is the real one, it'd be very difficult to actually prove that, I'm sure. Yeah, exactly. So very cool that we now have this certain, sure immutable thing. Which lives on the smart contract. So smart contracts essentially prove where this non-fungible token lives and where it was created from. Yes. So it's something that everybody has access to, or you can look up different smart contracts. You can look at other people's smart contracts. Code. Code. It's essentially code, but you get this transaction on, I don't know what it is outside of Ethereum, like where it lives. Right. But Etherscan, you can go on Etherscan and figure out, okay, this was created on this date, this is who it was created from, and this is where it lives today. Mm-hmm. So literally pinpoints everything that you need to know, which installs that value of the utility back, because if you were supposed to receive X, Y, and Z rewards, that smart contract validates who the actual owner is. And I was just, while you were saying that, I was thinking being able to track the ownership through its history, being able to actually see who owned it before you. Imagine if Picasso first sold it to Monet, and then you bought it. You actually knew you bought it from this other art. Maybe I could come up with a better example, but if you buy somebody's famous house, Sting used to live here. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That much better. Yeah. That has an extra sentimental value to it. That it could have a physical value to it, or some sort of monetization after it too, because Sting did this in this basement, or sports memorabilia. Yeah. Game worn jersey. Yeah. They throw your headband in the stand. People just want to add a little teeny extra value. It's coming from their favorite basketball player or whoever. Right. Pretty cool. Yeah, and that all lives on the smart contract. Yeah. So you can easily, I won't say easily because we're still trying to figure out how to move in this world. But you can access that, which brings me to our next couple. I guess it's kind of a combined term, but you did such a great job breaking it down the first time. Web 1, Web 2, Web 3. You're going to see those phrases when you're going through NFT, just people trying to make real life realizations about how what happened in the past and what could happen in the future and what's happening now. Can you break down what Web 1, 2, and 3 are? Yeah. So I view Web 1, 2, and 3 is like, so I'll start at the end, read, write, and own. So I viewed Web 1 when the internet was just being invented, just coming out, late 90s, early 2000s. Just the era of just information that we can consume. It's out there. We need information. We can go get it. Web 2, late 2000s, social media comes out, and it's your ability to now share yourself, to publish things, to put information out that you want to share with the world, or business that you want to put out. It's your ability to write things, to put that out. We're moving now into Web 3. I look at it as like the era of transactions. We're going to take ownership of our assets. We're going to transact digitally. We're going to actually own the things that we use versus renting them, or versus someone else owning them and letting us use them.
Perfect.
Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense.
So I think of like the internet. The internet and the blockchain are very similar to me too when I think of it. Like they conceptually seem like the same things, but the internet to me is information, where blockchains are now transactions. And I know I get caught sometimes using the phrase consumer blockchain more than just blockchain, because I think there's going to be so much everything is going to be transacted on the blockchain eventually. That's just my personal belief.
Yeah, no, I agree. And like even in the Web3 space, like we talked about Bored Apes a lot recently, that example of the Tiffany partnership where they're making jewelry with specific apes from the collection.
CryptoPunks.
Is it CryptoPunks? I'm sorry.
In that same conversation, yeah.
CryptoPunks, I'm sorry. They're taking specific CryptoPunks, and to your point about transactions, that's a transaction directly to the consumer, not to whoever created CryptoPunks. So, hey, Matt, can we use CryptoPunk 1015 in our marketing space? Like, what's it going to take? Like, that's the type of transactions that are real life now, like direct to the consumer,
DTC,
that people can make brand deals off of. Like, that's just an example of what excites me. Yeah. If any of these projects end up taking off, like the ones that we're a part of, I know we've talked a lot about some of the women-led projects, World of Women, Women with Weapons, and Boss Beauties. A lot of them already have some sort of partnerships in place. Like, how geeked would you be if, like, I don't know, freaking Marvel called you and it was like, hey, can we use Boss Beauty 1030?
That's the speculation of why certain of those characters are scooped up. Yeah. I happen to have, fortunately, one. It's like the superhero in the Boss Beauty collection.
I'm low-key jealous of that one, I'm not gonna lie.
That was a big bear market snag out of me.
That's a W,
a couple months ago. I'm gonna maybe share that graphic. But yeah, like what if, how cool would it be if Marvel called me and said, hey, can we use your token, your character in whatever, in anything, and
can we print it on a T-shirt?
It's licensed to me.
Yeah, and it's like you in that specific project is IP driven. You own that IP.
In fact, Boss Beauty is actually doing something right now where you're able to. They're publishing a book, which has it's like 75 different of the Boss Beauty characters of the tokens.
Yeah. Big mind.
Yeah, seriously. No, but you have to write a story. Like you have to submit basically the biography of your Boss Beauty that they're with their editor or whatever decide who all is going to be used in the book. But then when that book is sold, part of the proceeds, you get your rightful due proceeds from the revenue made from the book and your Boss Beauty or however many you have in the book.
I'm shaking my head because I've done stuff like that in the past, written stories. And I don't know if they saw mine or mine are just trash. So I just like,
this may be the one.
Let me do a different one.
This may be the one. But
I got to think about it. Who's in my collection? We'll talk about that later. Whatever.
Yeah. You got some good ones though.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see if I can flip it into a story. But I just wanted to bring that up to like hopefully excite people who are like skeptical. Like again, operate with any type of skepticism that you deem necessary to like make yourself do your own research and understand this stuff a little bit better. But I wanted to highlight some of the some of the success stories essentially that come from NFTs. And I know on a previous podcast I talked about like this girl that I went on a date with, and she bought a house in Florida off of cryptocurrency.
Crazy.
Like, this stuff is real life, so it's not like
and she
all
bought it.
scams. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people think.
Let's dig into that for a second, because real estate, I think, is I don't know how long it's going to take. I'm not in real estate.
Yeah.
But going through the home buying and home selling process twice, I realized, like, conceptually, it seems like this is a perfect
space for
NFT technology to fit in and play. So you said she bought homes with cryptocurrency.
Well, she flipped the cryptocurrency back to USD because the value of it shot up. So she was like essentially an early investor into specific coins, and then she flipped it over. But there's different ways to go about it. Like we talked about Balenciaga, and that you can buy apparel straight off their website with a specific type of currency. Like when I had contractyear.com going, I did the same thing. I accepted Ethereum, Bitcoin,
Awesome.
I think Avalanche too. I didn't accept Solana. I should have, but I don't know. That would be cool. Like real estate, like you can buy a house.
Yeah, that's right.
Strictly with
that's where I'm getting at.
Whatever currency.
And that's where I actually thought, maybe I just forgot the story. I thought she actually purchased it with crypto, but very similar. I mean, she saved the crypto. She made profits.
Yeah.
Turned it back
Flipped
into US dollar.
Yeah.
Eventually, like that house can be offered in. Eventually, that house will be offered in cryptocurrency. Or imagine if that house was an NFT. And
True.
Because we're talking about validation and verification and proving ownership. Like, I've never witnessed a bigger pile of junk than all of the mortgage deed, all of the things in the home buying, the closing process with the title company that I'm just signing away. Hey, I'm hoping it's all accurate and right, but it's like all these pieces of paper that are what prove I own the house that I live in now, that are stashed away somewhere safe. Somewhere, that I'm not going to tell anybody. But like, if there was a way to prove and validate ownership of a building, of a property,
that you could just store on your hard wallet, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so you don't have to keep track of 50 different things.
Yeah, you have that just as an NFT. Someone buys that NFT, they buy the house.
Right.
Easy.
And that goes back to just blockchain, like what it could be. Like blockchain, I think of just like an ecosystem of links. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you can build applications on it, so you understand who created it, where it's from. It's aligned to the next person, the original creator. And with the real estate example, like that's perfect. You can see what value somebody bought it at, like all those different details that you would have to like just, there's so much information when you're trying to buy your own house. That could all be visible on the blockchain. Like, I'm not sure if in the future, like, it would show the values of the neighborhood or whatever the case may be. Like,
that was my next point. I live on there's a house on my street that was recently abandoned or foreclosed.
Yeah.
And again, I need to learn more about real estate development and value, but
curb appeal.
Yeah, the value of that, the most important people, the value of that house is most important to everyone else in the neighborhood now, right? We want that house to hold its value so our homes hold and appreciate.
Yeah.
But when it's foreclosed and held by the bank or held by just sitting there for who knows how long, that's not helping anybody. Imagine if my neighborhood could all go in and there was an NFT created of that house that was fractionalized in some way where we each had a piece of ownership in that house to then be incentivized to fix it up or, get it back to condition to sell it.
Yeah.
We're then not only compensated on the sale, maybe it's breaking even, maybe you're making a profit, but it's helping our home values too.
Yeah.
Like we're all motivated for something to happen.
Succeed.
So why not all, why not be the ones running the show in terms of getting it back to what it should be?
Right. And even from like an upkeep standpoint too, like if we're all incentivized to keep this house together, like let's just put funds into this NFT or whatever, and it's distributed to, hey, we need a new roof, we need a new whatever. It just flows like they're like.
Now, I do have a little bit of PTSD because I'm picturing, college, when you're in college doing group projects, you get 4 people and one's not doing anything.
Also a great point.
So there are intricacies, and that's why it's not out yet. It's complicated, but the concept is, it seems like something like that's built for a function like NFTs.
Right, and we've talked with Paul and everyone about like, initially doing the streamcast, the topic that came up was passports.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so annoying to renew your passport, and like you could probably just have it connected to your wallet or whatever the case may be, however it's connected, your driver's license. You can upload your information, because I hate going to Secretary of State and standing in line and doing that whole situation. Like,
driver's license.
Yeah, just take a picture of me on my phone and scan my insurance, and then let's validate it on the blockchain. And
we're far from there, but we're basically there. People do that, and they don't realize that they're doing the same. Like, you have your Apple Wallet.
Yeah.
Like, where your boarding passes get put into. Tickets to went to the Pistons game in the fall. Like, got our it's the same concept.
Yeah.
There's got to be a way for it to all be protected and to prove it, and it's going to take a lot of time, but like, we're all already doing it.
Right.
It's just winter.
That's a good point. We don't even know it. We don't even realize it.
Yeah. That's when NFTs become mainstream, when it's just the technology. It's not just pictures of apes. It's we're using NFTs and we don't even realize it.
Yeah. Specifically, like, I like that about a Pistons game, or like you're going on a flight or what. That is just so much stress removal. Like, especially like, think about if you had like 4 or 5 kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just seamlessly updated all their information. Here's their information. Keep it going. Which in the past, it's like, we got to print everything. We got to show that this is my kid. Like,
got everything all proved for you.
Yeah, man.
It's really, it's crazy.
I think if people actually like really took the time just to do that, just like understand, like, we're already utilizing it, and this could improve your life in one way or another. It might be easier to conceptually understand a picture of a cat NFT and what it brings to you, and being a part of this group and things like that. Like, I think part of why people get lost is they're like, cool, why is this valuable? And so what helps us, like, well, pretty much everybody in the space, are these Discord groups that you get to be a part of if you join a specific NFT project. So what a Discord, like, I still don't all the way functionally use it the way it's supposed to be used.
Me neither.
But it's mainly for communication for people in these projects that are communicating what's going to happen with the project. There's different layers into what you can talk about, but specifically, I think it was created for the operation owners or the actual owners of the project to communicate to the people in the community what's to come, what can you expect by being a part of this group, and how we're going to move this thing forward together.
Yeah.
And if you're going to get involved in NFTs, definitely check out Discord in general. Like, you don't even have to use it for NFTs. There's like different groups. Like, if you love to go to vacation in Puerto Rico, there's a fucking Puerto Rico Discord. It's these
niche things like that we all thought we were weird for, collecting pins or whatever our weird things are. That's now just a vessel for these little communities to pop up. It's like a Reddit.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I think of it as. I wasn't very in Reddit.
Me neither.
I don't know, but like, there's definitely so much information to get from people in there.
Yeah, and you can get it directly from the source. That's the best way, I think, as far as doing your own research and looking goofy shit up on Twitter sometimes.
We haven't even talked about the fact that you can resell these assets creates a whole an insane dynamic in terms of planning or strategizing what you're going to do with them. You know, like think about I heard Mark Cuban give an example on textbooks. You know, when you're in college, I stopped buying textbooks after my sophomore year because they were hundreds of bucks, and let's be real, I wasn't going to read them anyway.
Yeah, we weren't reading them.
But can you like picture the chaos of like the bookstore and everyone's bitching about this, and the textbook companies, they create new ones every 2 years. They change a couple pages just so you have to buy the next one.
Right.
Imagine if they could do that all digitally. You've got the textbooks are controlled in some way, like your ownership by NFT. Not only is it updated, you know, new editions and whatnot, everybody who owns that edition of the textbook, so you're all on the same edition and everything. But when you graduate, you can sell that NFT to the freshmen coming in, make your money back, or you're not literally.
But why would we do that as the college? We don't want to. We want to make the money. That's right. The whole. That's the blocker there.
True.
Like, you know what I'm saying? In theory, a lot of this stuff makes sense, but there's gonna be people on the chopping block because of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, even in that example, you don't even need NFTs. You just need an iPad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Seriously.
Or a note, and they won't even do that. So like, a lot of this stuff is big business ran.
True.
Because hopefully we'll have her on the streamcast here pretty soon when we talked about her in the past. Mumbot, amazing artist. Like, I hope she gets, because corporate, we've already talked about corporate examples of them getting involved in NFTs. They're going to figure this thing out one way or another, and I hope like they get some of the artists who help build up this community in a creative way. And I say that because that's how this thing can functionally move together. If big business gets involved and they get their cut too, that's why they wouldn't do book NFTs just yet, right? Because the college is going to be like, well, I'm not making any bread off that, so nah.
There's got it. You're 100% right.
Yeah,
and that's why these are all ideas and theories, and they're exciting.
But that's a great idea that should already be
right. It just makes sense for everyone. Maybe it doesn't make sense for one of the entities who are making the most money now.
Just like we were talking about GameStop and those people making all that money, but the big business was losing out on that. So seriously, it's like, we're shutting that down.
You think it's funny that the CEO of the Citadel, Ken Griffin, who was Citadel's the main hedge fund in cahoots with Robinhood, shorting GameStop, he was the one that bought the copy of the Constitution last year for $67 million, which tells a story of valuing something important that's very scarce. There's only a couple copies, but he beat a decentralized autonomous organization, a DAO, that was created to try to buy the Constitution.
I did not know
guy,
that.
Ken Griffin, now stepped on the people twice. It's just a funny little correlation.
That guy, man.
Yeah. DAOs are something we want to talk about one day, one episode, and maybe for
DAOs are important.
Maybe for next week too, POAPs. We got an idea coming.
We definitely got to do a
proof of attendance protocol. Don't worry about that. We'll cover that another week, but we might have something special coming up for those viewing these early episodes.
Absolutely, and appreciate you hanging around for an education recap. But we definitely want to do. We're going to figure out a way how to buy an NFT here.
Yeah.
So we can literally show you how to do it, because to your point, there's a lot of different steps that automatically turn people off.
Yes.
So that's something that we can conceptualize into this streamcast, so you can actually see how to go about that, how to secure it, what different platforms that you can make these transactions off of. So definitely want to bring some more illustrations to the streamcast, man.
It's the beginning. To the moon we go.
To the moon.
All right.
Thanks again.
We'll see you next time.